What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got a prediction video for you guys this morning, or actually be uploaded by the afternoon. This one's for Manny Pacquiao versus Antonio Margarito. Matchup takes place November the 13th in Cowboy Stadium, which is right down the road from me in Arlington. It's a matchup at a catch weight of 151 pounds for the junior WBC Super Welterweight or Junior Middleweight Championship. Puts together both challengers, Antonio Margarito and Manny Pacquiao. Both fighters have been welterweight champions or titleist. To say the most, you can actually say that they've both been champions. Margarito was one of the longest reigning welterweight champions of the last, for a few years until he lost to Paul Williams. And Manny Pacquiao won against Miguel Cotto, who I thought was the number one, or actually number two welterweight at that time. So both of them had done pretty decent at welterweight, in my opinion. But even though Pacquiao's only had like 3 fights at the weight, he has some respectable opponents on his resume. Same with Margarito, but at the same time they both have fought the same opponents at 147 pounds. But anyway, overall, going to the matchup, a lot of people have complained about the catch weight, including myself. But something that you do have to appreciate about this matchup is that you have 2 fighters who come in the fight each and every time they come to the ring. They both come forward, they throw a lot of punches, and they can take a lot of shots. They can take and they can receive. So I think that this is going to be a nice matchup to watch. But the political aspect on the outside of the matchup is, I guess, what kind of ticks off a lot of boxing fans. But, us as fans, we got to take whatever is basically put in front of us. Am I buying the pay-per-view? No, I'm just going to stream it. But November the 13th is going to be a very good day for boxing. We have this matchup, we have the little pay-per-view card, and then we have Hay versus Harrison, which I'll get into after this video. But overall, onto this matchup, Pacquiao versus Margarito potentially could be the fight of the year, especially with the styles involved. When I think of this matchup, I kind of think of Johnny Tapia versus Paulie Ayala. You had 2 fighters. You had a southpaw and you had an orthodox fighter who could kind of switch it up. But we don't have the fighter that can switch it up in this matchup. But in this matchup, you have a fighter who can stand outside and throw a lot of punches, and but will sometimes stand inside and throw punches and kind of wait. But at the same time, you have the fighter who stands on the outside, the southpaw fighter who stands, who can stand inside and throw punches and work the way in. Even though it's kind of a little opposite, with Pacquiao being the southpaw who can stand outside and land his punches from the outside, and Margarito being the orthodox guy who stands inside and lands his punch and can land his punches well from the outside. It kind of reminds me of that fight from '99, but kind of in a reverse role. But anyway, in this match, you got 2 fighters who pretty much average about 1,000 punches per fight. Pacquiao, for Pacquiao in this matchup, in order for him to win, Pacquiao does a really good job of kind of twisting corners, kind of turning a little bit and landing his punches, in the middle of those turns. He could throw punches from just about any angle that he throws from. Any angle he throws from, he can land his punches, he can land his shots and land them clean, or sometimes, hitting the glove. I think his main advantage in this matchup is speed. He has a speed advantage in this matchup, and I think he has to use it. Something that will sell Pacquiao's combinations is that jab from the outside. Throws a jab from the outside, and sometimes it leads to a straight left hand. That goes right through the middle, lands perfectly on the chin. Sometimes he throws a jab that sets up his combinations from the outside. He'll throw probably about 4 or 5 punches, and he comes back outside and starts jabbing again, or or sometimes it sets up the right hook to the body. Those are very decent hooks to the body. We saw him in the Clottey fight go to the body a lot more, um, and also something that Pacquiao does very well is he does a good job of taking the jab away. He kind of evades the shot, counters with his southpaw jab. Does a very good job of doing that and incorporating movement to set up his combinations, or incorporating movement to set up his jab. In this matchup against Antonio Margarito, I think he's gonna have to fight this matchup a little similar to how he fought Oscar De La Hoya and similar to how he fought David Diaz. When he fought both of these fighters against De La Hoya, he stood on the outside, and he threw his jab and landed straight left through the middle. And also in the David Diaz fight, he threw his jab and he set up all kinds of combinations and just kept setting them up the whole entire fight. Now with De La Hoya, he did change it up. He threw combinations and he threw the straight left, and threw the straight left patiently. But in this matchup, he's going to have to stand a little outside a little bit more, because this is going to be a bigger weight. This is probably about 4 pounds heavier than 4 or 5 pounds heavier than he's used to coming in. So I think in this matchup, he's going to have to kind of test the weight a little bit, because it's going to be a little bit bigger, especially against a fighter like Margarito, who's going to come forward each and every fight. And the difference between Margarito and a lot of the other fighters that he's been facing, Margarito is going to be coming forward the entire fight. So in this matchup, he's going to have to I think he's going to have to kind of test the waters a little bit in the early goings of the matchup. He's going to have to, he's going to have to fight the matchup quite cautiously, like he did in the early goings against De La Hoya. He's going to have to do that in this matchup. And especially with Margarito having a good chin, that being pretty much his defense is his chin. I've never, since Jake LaMotta and a lot of other fighters who've had really good chins, I hadn't seen, Antonio Margarito is one of the few fighters, including Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward, who countered shots that just landed off their chin. You can land on the chin and just counter the shot. And also with this being a bigger weight, Antonio Margarito could possibly be more punch resistant at 151 pounds than he was in his matchup against Mosley at like 145 pounds, because that's what he weighed in at. So I think that he could possibly be more punch resistant. So I think he needs to fight this matchup a lot more cautiously than he fought against Clottey and even Miguel Cotto. I think that's going to be pretty much Pacquiao's key to victory. I think standing on the outside, setting them up with combinations, incorporate a lot of movement, because if you look at Margarito, sometimes he does the same thing. He comes forward and throws his jab and tries to set you up with the right hand or the left uppercut to the body or up top. And it's kind of like in football how you have the option of throwing, when you got the running back with the quarterback and you got the running back and you run around, in the flats, and you got the option to throw it back. It's kind of how it is with Margarito. He has kind of that option of whether he's going to go to the body or up top. And sometimes it's like he doesn't really know until he throws it, or until it lands. He doesn't know where he's going to go with it, or the route he's going to go with his left uppercut. So that's what Manny Pacquiao needs to do. I think incorporating a lot of movement, throwing his jab, straight left hand combinations, using the speed as the main factor for him in this matchup. Not getting into a dogfight with Margarito, because I think more than likely he'll be a little more punch resistant at this weight. For Antonio Margarito to win this matchup, Margarito's going to have to measure Pacquiao a lot with his left jab. He's going to have to start a lot faster, and I think he's going to have to come forward and he's going to have to throw punches. Compared to other opponents like De La Hoya and Clottey, those opponents did not throw much against Pacquiao, and they didn't really have a chance. So David Diaz didn't have a chance to throw too many punches against Manny Pacquiao because of the speed. Margarito has faced opponents that's thrown a lot of punches against him. Paul Williams, who's also southpaw, doesn't have the speed of Manny Pacquiao, but as a southpaw, throws a lot of punches. Margarito found a way for the right hand to continuously land and continue coming forward in that matchup, and ended up getting the victory. another fighter who's a boxer, Kermit Cintron, he's able to come forward, take away the space, take away the angles, and find a way for his punches to land. That's something that I do respect about Margarito is the fact that he's not the fastest fighter, but he somehow finds a way for his punches to land. And he always comes forward, he always comes to fight. Margarito in this matchup is going to have to find a way to get the right hand to land, set him up with the left jab, and find a way for that looping right hand shot to land. He's going to have to throw a lot more, because if you look in other Pacquiao fights, even in the Clottey fight and also in the Cotto fight, he's come out bruised. I think that the key for Margarito to win is to throw punches. I think just throwing shots is could possibly set up something for Margarito. And we all say this every time Pacquiao moves up in weight, but we don't know, we really don't know how he's going to do at this weight class. I think that this should be the last weight class he moves up to, but with Pacquiao being the smaller guy, I think, and the fact that he's been bruised in the last couple fights, I think throwing punches, whether they be intended to land or not, I think just throwing punches, and whether they land or not, I think will be effective for Margarito. I think that if he throws punches, they could hurt Pacquiao, especially if he lands up top to the head. Also, keeping him at bay with the jab, and also trying to land that left to the body, left uppercut, left uppercut to the head or to the body on Pacquiao. I think he's gonna have to try to find a way for those shots to land, because pretty much those are the primary shots that he throws. Is the left uppercut, the left uppercut to the body and up top, and the wide right hook. And he finds a way for it to land, even if a short, right or left hook lands on the inside, he still lands that big right hand, because sometimes those punches don't even affect him. So, with all that said, what I think is going to happen in this matchup, I think that Antonio Margarito will lose this matchup by a unanimous decision. I think Pacquiao takes it. I think Pacquiao is going to throw a lot of volume punches. I think the speed's going to be a huge factor. I think the movement and probably high volume of punches is going to get Pacquiao this matchup. That's just what I think about this matchup, and I think Pacquiao takes the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. So anyway, guys, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.